فهي بس اللي هو يديلها الاهتمام المناسب ان شاء الله باذن الله هيفهمها وهيقدر يعني يتقنها يعني كل حاجه. يعني في الاخر بقول ايه؟ بقول انه ان شاء الله باذن الله اي حاجه يعني احنا بنعتبر انه ده مجال علم، والتقيت بكم على هدف العلم ان شاء الله، وهو هدف سامي. وبالتالي فانا ما احبش اطلاقا ان العمليه تكون اكاديميه بحته، وان العلاقه اللي بيني وبينكم تكون هي القاعه وخلاص وزمن المحاضره وانتهينا على كده. لا اعتبروني يعني اب ليكم او اخ اكبر، واللي عنده اي حاجه يجيبها لي ويناقشني فيها ويسال فيها، واذا كنتش اعرفها يعني اوعد ان شاء الله بان انا اشوفها ونحل المساله. بس اللي عايز اي سؤال واحنا بنتكلم العربي اتفضل قبل ما نبتدي. بالنسبه لايه؟
الفقه والغرب.
الفقه الايه؟
الغرب يعني الغرب يعني مش
تقصدي فقه الاقليات.
دلوقتي انا كان درست دوله حوار اديان مع الدكتوره اسماء عبد المجيد الزنداني. وهي لما عرفت ان انا بدرس اعجاز علمي فكانت طالبه مني ان انا اعمل بحث عن الاعجاز في الفقه.
الاعجاز في الفقه هو ما يبقاش في الفقه بقى، الاعجاز يبقى في اصول الفقه. يعني مش في الفقه. الاعجاز الحقيقه لانه زي ما انتم هتعرفوا ان الفقه ده هو عباره عن ايه؟ احكام. انا بعرف الاحكام وبعرف الدليل عليها، كل حكم ودليله جبته منين. اما اصول الفقه فهي اللي فيها الاعجاز، فيها ان هي علم يعني زي ما هنعرف دلوقتي وضعه علماء المسلمين على غير سابق مثال، ملوش نظير في العلوم القانونيه والشرعيه في الاديان الاخرى في المذاهب الاخرى. فدي يعني طب يعني اذا كنت هتعملي البحث كده يعني طيب نخليها، طيب ديت هتبقى حاجه شخصيه ليكي، نخليها بعد المحاضره ماشي؟ طيب في اي سؤال تاني؟ طيب ممكن حضرتك بقى اذا كنت تظبط هتسجل المحاضره تبتدي تسجل، مفيش مشكله ان شاء الله. بس انا مش عارف بقى النظام بتاعكم يعني نظام التسجيل الساعه كام دلوقتي والمفروض ننتهي كام؟
هو مش مباشر، هو احنا بنسجله بقى كان نزرع موقع يعني هو مش لايف.
طيب هي الساعه كام دلوقتي؟ طيب يعني النهارده ان شاء الله نتكلم لغايه الساعه 8 ان شاء الله. ماشي كده؟ ان شاء الله. طيب اوكي. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاه والسلام على رسول الله. We are supposed, inshallah, to study Usul al-Fiqh, and this is a very important subject in Islamic Sharia, simply because it talks about the principles, rules that are necessary to extract. يعني يستخلص to extract أحكام. When I say أحكام, it is rulings. So we have first of all to define that subject and then to analyze the terms and the words included in that definition, and then compare between usul al-fiqh in itself and fiqh or sharia whatsoever. Actually, when we define usul al-fiqh, we can say I would like first of all to define what is fiqh in order to define usul al-fiqh, because you know usul al-fiqh is composed of two terms, usul and fiqh. So when I say usul, it means the fundamentals or the principles or the basics of everything, anything. When you say usul, it is the basics, the fundamentals, the basis of everything, most important thing in the structure of anything, and this is usul. Fiqh. What is fiqh in Arabic language actually? And I give you something important in all our study. When we approach a new terminology or a new subject, and we started to talk about it, actually we define it from the linguistic point of view and then from the terminology point of view. All right? So when I define anything, not in Usul al-Fiqh, even in Tafsir, in Hadith, and so on and so forth, we always, in Ulum al-Sharia, we always define the word from its linguistic point of view, then from the terminology or the juristic point of view. بنترجمها من وضعها اللغوي ووضعها الاصطلاحي. Okay? So when I say fiqh, the word fiqh in itself actually means deep knowledge. When you say fiqh in anything, before the terminology of the word came to existence, when I say fiqh means deep knowledge. So fiqh means deep knowledge about anything, not necessarily fiqh or usul al-fiqh or the hadith or whatsoever. But when we say somebody is faqih, he has a deep knowledge in something. He has a deep knowledge in something. But then the word has taken the terminology meaning or the juristic meaning, that is to know the rulings, the Sharia rulings, to know the Sharia rulings and to know its evidence. منين جت؟ تعرف الحكم وتعرف الدليل عليه. So it became so clear that when I say fiqh, it means that all the rulings in the books of fiqh that I have to know about what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded us or prohibited or forbade us to do, then the evidence upon that من terminology, من ناحية juristic term. And of course you can find, for example, Abu Hanifa, may Allah be merciful for him, he wrote a book that is Al-Fiqh al-Akbar. Fiqh al-Akbar means Aqidah. It has nothing to do with our fiqh, but it is in Aqidah, in belief or creed. So he called it Al-Fiqh al-Akbar, means deep knowledge in creed or in belief. Right. But actually, that's to say, you can use the word from its linguistic point of view to describe something away from the juristic point of view. Good. So, fiqh from the juristic points of view means to know all the rulings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prescribed, the farada, prescribed upon us in the Quran or in the Sunnah. Okay? And not only that, but to know the evidence of it. I say this is haram or prohibited, and its evidence is from the Quran. The verse that says so and so. Verse yani ayah. The verse that says so and so. Or its evidence is the hadith saying so and so. So to know the rulings and its evidence, this is actually fiqh. Then fiqh can actually be described in the books of fiqh themselves. You have chapters of fiqh in the books of fiqh, and then when you describe fiqh in these books, you are talking about fiqh. And you may talk about fiqh as a deep knowledge with somebody. This is a faqih. Faqih means he has a deep knowledge about the rulings, الأحكام الشرعية, the Sharia rulings. يبقى دوت عنده إيه؟ عنده علم بالأحكام الشرعية، يبقى فقيه، يبقى عنده فقه. والفقه برضه يبقى إيه؟ يبقى موجود في الإيه؟ في كتب الفقه. Good. So this is actually fiqh. And then what is أصول الفقه? I have to refer back. Fiqh actually like the final product. You know the final product?
Yes.
That is the fruit.
Yeah.
The fiqh is the final product or the fruit of أصول الفقه. Without أصول الفقه, I'm not going to know any fiqh at all. At all. So the product itself is the fiqh. So I have to be an أصولي in order to reach to be a faqih. أو مجتهد actually a مجتهد. Good. The faqih can be a faqih by, keeping by heart all the ahkam. That's all the ahkam and its evidences. He is a faqih. And actually, the word faqih is synonymous. Synonymous يعني مرادف. The word faqih is synonym or synonymous to the word judge or the word mufti. All these words and the terms are the same. قاضي لازم يكون فقيه في المكان اللي هو بيشتغل فيه. المفتي لازم يكون فقيه برضه في انه يعرف كل كتب الفقه بتقول ايه على الاحكام ويبقى عارفها. والفقيه نفسه والفقيه نفسها. فاذا the jurist equals judge equals judge. The jurist equals judge equals mufti, right? These are the three things are equal. They should be a very great faqih or the faqih that keeps everything in fiqh. Okay, but usul al-fiqh. What is usul al-fiqh? Actually, to combine the word usul and the word fiqh, we can come to a new meaning, that is the basis, the principles, the sources from which we can reach to ahkam. Because the job of fiqh is to give me the ahkam. The job of usul al-fiqh is actually to teach me how and why did I reach to that hukm. You understand? So, the question mark in fiqh is what? But the question mark in usul al-fiqh is how and why. You understand? Explain this. The question mark in fiqh is what? Meaning that what is the ruling of that issue, that problem? Its ruling is prohibited. يعني المسألة دي الحكم بتاعها حرام. خلاص. And its evidence is so and so. This is fiqh. But the question mark of in usul al-fiqh is actually how and why. How did I reach to that? And why did I reach to that? This is the question mark in usul al-fiqh. Why and how, but the question mark in fiqh is what. Okay? Now, the definition of usul al-fiqh, in order to analyze the definition and reach to something which is reasonable, we say that usul al-fiqh actually is a collection of something. Collection يعني تجميع أو جمع لأشياء. The collection of what? Collection of the rules that are pertaining to a methodology يعني منهج, pertaining to a methodology in extracting the rules of the Sharia using its sources. أنا عندي في التعريف دوت, we have this definition actually something to focus on. The first thing is the rules and principles. Rules and principles يعني القواعد. Rules and principles. The rules and principles and then we have the methodology. Methodology means manhaj. And then we have the sources اللي هي المصادر اللي أنا هاخد منها. So I have, for example, from the rules and principles, I may say a rule or principle in Arabic. Say, for example, الأمر في النصوص يحمل على الوجوب ما لم تكن هناك قرينة تصرف هذا الوجوب إلى الندب أو الإباحة. This is a rule in the Sharia. And many other rules, hundreds of rules in the Sharia talking just like that. Then I consider that in mind. Then I have methodology. Methodology to do what? Methodology meaning to arrange or to put in order the sources of the Sharia. That is, when I have a problem or an issue to be solved, عندي مثلا مسألة نقل الأعضاء. This is an issue or a problem. It needs a ruling, needs حكم شرعي. Then, where should I go first? I should first go to the Quran. And then, when I can't find in the Quran, I go to the Sunnah. When I can't find in the Sunnah, I go to Ijma', that is consensus. When I can't find in Ijma', I go to analogy. Actually, almost all the scholars of Islam agree on this order. Quran, Sunnah, Ijma', Qiyas. After that, they differ. The methodology differs. Okay? So, maybe some of the scholars use al-masalih al-mursala or istihsan or sadd al-zara'i' or qawl al-sahabi or any of these sources or أدلة إجمالية. نسمي الباب من الأبواب دي اللي هتحل لي مشكلة الحكم نسميه دليل إجمالي. يعني المصلحة المرسلة بسميها دليل إجمالي، الاستحسان بسميه دليل إجمالي، القرآن والسنة والإجماع والقياس أدلة إجمالية، وكل دي اللي هي بتوصلني للحكم بسميها دليل إجمالي. Okay, that's an aggregate دليل or an aggregate evidence. Then the order of these أدلة إجمالية is said to be the methodology. Methodology يعني منهج or the method or methodology. Then I have then principles and the methodology. What else should I have in usul al-fiqh? Sources. The sources themselves. I have to study the source itself. I say دي بقى مختلفة عن المنهج في ترتيب الأدلة. The source نفسه, the source itself is studied very carefully in order to know where should I use it and how should I use it. For example, I study the Quran and analyze the Quran, study all the issues about the Quran, when it was revealed, what are the chapters of the Quran, what are the Makki and the Madani of the Quran, what is the abrogating and the abrogated verses. في abrogated or abrogating يعني نسخ والمنسوخ. What are the abrogating and the abrogated. والحقيقة احنا بنقول abrogating ده اسم فاعل، فالمفروض اللي هي ايه اللي هي بتنسخ. abrogated اللي هي التصريف ده بيبقى ايه منسوخ. What are the abrogating and what is the abrogating verses and what are the abrogated verses. ايه النسخ والمنسوخ، ايه اسباب النزول, the occasions of revelations, everything about the Quran. So we study the source itself. Actually, from the reasonable point of view, I have a similarity يعني ايه؟ similarity between أصول الفقه and any scientific experiment. Because the way or the methodology itself, in order to reach a solution, they are almost the same. أصول الفقه and the scientific experiment. Okay, so this is the definition of the word أصول الفقه. Actually, أصول الفقه needs some other auxiliary subjects or assisting subjects to be put into consideration. In order to study أصول الفقه, do you mind and take my jacket off?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. To know that actually that Usul al-Fiqh in itself is a subject which is penetrating in many sciences of the Sharia. You will find that to know Usul al-Fiqh you have to know Arabic language, you have to know logic, you have to know all the sciences about the Quran, all the sciences about the Sunnah, and many other things. For example, because the Quran and the Sunnah were both revealed in English and in Arabic language, so I have to know the Arabic. I have to be good in Arabic language, and actually, it doesn't mean that he should be a scholar. Scholar يعني عالم. It doesn't mean that you should be a scholar in Arabic language, but you have to have a minimum knowledge in Arabic, enough knowledge in order to know what is the subject and what is the object. For example, I give you an example, and you will see that is a completely different. Only to know the grammar of the Arabic in that example. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, إنما يخشى الله من عباده العلماء. العلماء. If somebody else utters it or pronounces it in that way, إنما يخشى الله من عباده العلماء. If he is insisting on that, he is out of the whole of Islam. He is kafir. So I have to know the grammar. Yes, that is وإذ ابتلى إبراهيم. If I say Ibrahim, I am no more a Muslim. حضر يعقوب الموت.
حضر يعقوب الموت.
بالضبط. So this is very important actually, but I don't have to be aware of the differences between al-Kufiyin and al-Basriyin in grammar and the sciences of the Arabic language. No, I have to have a minimum knowledge of everything of that. كل علوم اللغة العربية. Also, I have to know logic. Do you imagine logic? You have to know logic. And actually, in Al-Azhar, for tens or hundreds of years, they studied logic in its Greek form, القضية وحدود القضية ومش عارف إيه والكلام ده, because actually they will come to use that in أصول الفقه, how to start with a thesis and this leads me to a result and so on and so forth. This is actually you will have in أصول الفقه. So the أصول الفقه is a science or a subject of logic in the meantime. Also, you have to know many things about the Quran. That is the first source of Islamic legislation. Legislation means the Sharia. First source of Islamic legislation, oh yes. Actually, it is the Quran that is revealed, and then almost all the Arabic and the Islamic subjects and the sciences are auxiliaries or supporting this or trying to analyze. دي علوم مساعدة. إنما الأساس عندي هو القرآن. So I have to know everything about the Quran. For example, I have to know interpretation or exegesis. Exegesis is what tafsir. Interpretation, explanation of the Quran. I have to know all the subjects about tafsir. There are many subjects of tafsir. Tafsir بالمأثور, تفسير الفقهي, تفسير مثلا التفسير بالمعقول اللي هو الرأي. كل هذه انواع من التفسيرات، التفسير الصوفي، التفسير الاشاري اللي هو الصوفي برضه، وهكذا.
تفسير حضرتك
اكسجيزيس الحاجات دي هتلتقوها، يعني ما تقلقيش نفسك لان انا يعني ببقى عايز اقول السبيلنج، بس السبيلنج الحقيقه لو كل كلمه احنا قلنا السبيلنج بتاعها هتضيع وقت كتير، بس هتلاقيها ان شاء الله يعني. اكسجيزيس اكسجيزيس ماشي. So this is about the Quran. Since the Quran is the first and the essential material to depend on in getting ahkam, so I have to know everything about the Quran. Then I have to know, for example, what are the abrogating verses and the abrogated verses. ايه الآيات الناسخة وايه الآيات المنسوخة عشان اطلع حكم صح in order to reach a very sound and authentic rulings. Alright? This is very important. I have to know, for example, the occasions of revelation. Occasions of revelation, yes. اسمها بالنزول. This is very important because it is helping me to actually to simplify or to have direct reasons about why the legislator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the legislator, نسميه المشرع, the legislator, why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave that ruling based on this occasion. And we actually won't stop on this occasion and that is finished, but we use this hukm generally. عشان كده في قاعدة عند الفقهاء والأصوليين بتقول إيه؟ العبرة بعموم اللفظ لا بخصوص السبب. معناها إيه؟ معناها إن أنا هتجاوز بقى عن أسباب النزول. أسباب النزول بتوضح لي الظروف اللي نزلت فيها الآيات عشان أبقى فاهمها. لكن عرفت بقى بطبق بقى اللفظ نفسه بيكون عندي، وبنسى حتة أسباب النزول دي دلوقتي ما دام عرفتها ودرستها، أطبق بقى على على النص دوت، أطبقه على كل حالة مشابهة. Anyway, أسباب النزول. Also I have in the Quran what is called the general and what is called the specific. عام وخاص. What is that general and what is that specific? The general is actually a generality of a specific hukm ruling. Then the specific is to take some of the individuals of the items from that generality and to give them a different hukm. هشرح الحته دي بالعربي بس وبعدين يعني العام والخاص. لما اقول ان ربنا سبحانه وتعالى بيقول ايه في القران والزانية والزاني فاجلدوا كل واحد منهما 100 جلدة ولا تأخذكم بهما رأفة في دين الله إن كنتم تؤمنون بالله واليوم الآخر. Okay. Then the punishment of zina, that is the adultery or fornication. بنقول على زنا المحصن adultery، وزنا غير المحصن اللي هو fornication. Okay. The punishment in the Quran of those who commit adultery is only 100 lashes. To flog them, يجلدهم 100 lashes. 100 جلد. You cannot find in the Quran whatsoever any other ruling. But the Prophet, peace be upon him, Prophet يعني Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The Prophet, peace be upon him, came to apply another ruling upon